this ultimately is Indigenous land that we are in and on, and the important perspective and the important kind of political trajectory that we take as people living in this landscape.
Universities have a certain obligation to really take the TRC recommendations seriously. The Indigenous Summer Scholars Program is certainly one of those ways that academic institutions can address some of those recommendations.
What we were attempting to do in the ISSP is to provide a pathway program to graduate studies for senior Indigenous undergraduates.
I think that for universities, this is a great opportunity to take scholars that are coming up and out of the woodwork and pairing them with current scholars that are skilled. And I think that this is a great way to teach students what life is like as a scholar and what that really is from a practical perspective.
The program spent 2 weeks training me on how to do research, how to reach out to the public, how to properly and effectively work with Indigenous materials and content. And now I'm going to be able to give back to academia in a way that's meaningful and has a direct effect on the way that we engage with conversations about Indigenous peoples and Indigenous literature.
It's important for students to see themselves in research.
We had 8 fully engaged, wonderful young students pursuing a range of fascinating topics with faculty members. And the final presentations they did were gratifying, they were humbling, they were provocative. One of them was from Environmental Studies and Sciences. One of them was from the Department of Anthropology. We had a project out of the Institute of Urban Studies at the University of Winnipeg. We had one from history. There was one from economics, which had to do with clean drinking water in First Nations community. And there was one from the English department, which had to do with Indigenous comics and graphic novels. So a wide range of projects across the humanities and social sciences.
The workshop week was very helpful. They introduced us to how to work with community and how to interact with community. I went out to Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. I met with multiple First Nation representatives, and having that prior experience with the workshops really helped me know more what I was getting into.
We made sure to talk about and really focused on how we can best share the findings of our research, share what we have found so that we can take sometimes very theoretical findings and make it so that they can directly impact the communities that we worked with in a positive way.
All of these great projects that were shown to us just sparked ideas within my own mind. It's all a part of a bigger picture, and the people in the workshops, they're at the bigger part of the picture.
We're linking climate science and local communities to better understand where we need to go forward as a society. And the program this summer, getting Francine involved, was fantastic. We didn't have to teach her much. She just hit the ground running, and I think that's the benefit of bringing in, students who have skills but kind of can refine those skills. It's a great program that could be emulated in other places and certainly was beneficial to the student, faculty, and research teams that everyone was collaborating around.
It's kind of surprising that other universities don't already do this. This seems like the kind of thing that would both show that universities are dedicated to reconciliation with Indigenous peoples. It would be a way to show that Indigenous students do matter in academics and in the university setting. But it's also just a really good way to create future academics and to promote research. So this program is just extending the goal of a university in a way that is understanding the role that universities play in building what an academic looks like, who an academic is, and what it means to be a part of a community.
There's a lot of learning that we have as academics around how knowledge works and how knowledge should be applied in the real world, and the importance of interconnected relationships between knowledge, practice, landscape, environment. And again, Indigenous people are the masters of this. It's part of the life wave.
In the long run, what we're trying to do is to ensure that we help to create the next generation of Indigenous leaders in Canada. We know that education is going to be key for that, and University of Winnipeg would like to be among the institutions helping to prepare them.
And I think this is really evidence where students are better equipped to embark on an academic journey that is meaningful to them, that is meaningful to their families, and meaningful to their communities.